I am Joe Mucheru, the Cabinet Secretary responsible for ICT, Innovation and Youth Affairs here at the Republic of Kenya. I'm also the chair of the Plenipotentiary Conference of the Africa Telecommunications Union, which I've been for the last 4 years. I also sit on the board of the UNICEF Generation Unlimited, amongst other portfolios. Being the chair of the ATU Plenipotentiary Conference is a great honor that the African ministers bestowed on me, and it's been a privilege to be able to interact and work with many of the ministers. As it stands, the continent is facing amongst its best moments as far as technology is concerned. We have multiple cables that have been landing by the sea, cables that are now crossing. In fact, there's one that is moving from east to west, from the Lamu coast and Mombasa all the way through DRC to the West African coast, and many other cables being set up to allow for the integration of the many African countries that we have that have almost been operating independently, but now with the Continental Free Trade Area, we have the ability to create a single digital market that will now bring all Africans and those living in Africa together, 1.3 billion people in one market. So it's a great time to be in this position, to be able to work together as also the world is introducing new technologies, new services, whether it is 5G, and seeing that we can get as many of our people in the continent connected. Connectivity has been a key driver of development, and we don't want anybody left behind. With almost 50% of the people not having decent connectivity and broadband, we must find ways of increasing and improving that. So this is a time when we can put our efforts together and ensure that everyone is able to be connected. Ensure that whether it is our hospitals, which is our schools, whether it is for entertainment, whether it's for our businesses, that everybody has access to the information that I would say technology provides, that communication provides, and allows Africa to really take its part and its role within the global community, ensuring that our innovations are also leading, ensuring that our young people are getting jobs and are getting gainfully employed and contributing to the innovations that the world has. And more importantly, ensuring that we're doing this in a secure way, that we have the right regulations, whether it is data protection, whether we have a single digital ID that can be used across the borders, ensuring we're managing the security within the borders, that the communication between the countries and all the security forces allows us to be able to collaborate and work together and ensure we have a peaceful and prosperous continent. So a very great time and a great opportunity to be in the leadership. The Union is a great environment in which all countries can collaborate and work together and share ideas. The Smart Africa Alliance allowed us working together to be able to look at how we can create a single digital market, look at different roles and responsibilities by every country, and putting and pulling together, we can be able to grow the continent. So the ATU has a responsibility of looking at how can we ensure, first of all, the regulations that allow for the private sector to be able to thrive, to be able to build their networks. We want to see 5G deployed everywhere on the continent and being used for all the different applications that can be done. We want to make sure that VR and many of the other new services that are bringing in film, that are bringing in content and all the applications that are required, we want to make sure fintech and the many services that are going on with that, artificial intelligence, machine learning, that all this together with blockchain are happening across the whole continent. And the ATU can be able to provide that environment that ensures from a policy point of view, we are all working well in harmony, that in collaboration, in ensuring that between the borders, our citizens are able to roam freely within the continent, whether they're moving from one country to another. They don't need to change their SIM card, they don't need to change their phones, the costs are not going to be prohibitive, and that we can have that one single digital market. So the ATU has that responsibility, and I hope as we move, that is going to become clearer and easier. Our political heads of state have already put the Africa Free Trade Area together. Now it's for the ATU, the African ministers of ICT and communications, to come together and ensure that that vision is implemented using technology. So African Union, I would like to thank them first for coming together as heads of state and creating the Continental Free Trade Area. The Continental Free Trade Area allows, movement of goods and the movement of people. And the best way to ensure that we are able to fully maximize the potential is to ensure we have communication across all these countries, that people can be able to interact, communicate, be it voice, be it video, be it just text messages, but that they can be able to interact and engage. This is the glue that will put the continent and the free trade area to life and working together. And so the African Union should really invest more and support the ATU, support the ICT ministers in bringing this dream to come true, because as you get the young people using technology and going across borders and everybody understanding and providing information about all the different countries, I believe we'll not only be able to create a market for ourselves as Africa, but we'll also be able to present and offer services to the rest of the world and be, the citizens that we need to be within the global community. So the AU, thank you for the great work that you have done so far in bringing us here. Give us more support as ATU so that we can be able to deliver on this dream. To fellow ministers and countries that are engaged in building the Africa Telecommunications Union so that we have one single digital market. We have one single market of 1.3 billion people. We must pull together. We must work together. We must find ways of interacting and communicating even more. We must meet, we must share, we must look at all the areas where we are as different countries winning and share those stories. We must put those together so that as a continent, we can embrace the successes, learn from the areas where maybe we are failing, and be able to really take advantage and time that the efficiencies of technology are providing. One good thing is we don't have so much legacy to replace. We can actually leapfrog and move to the next phase. I'm pleased to say, like here in Kenya, we've been able to see our young people through their own initiatives, through use of the connectivity that we provided. They're now providing online jobs through freelancing and the gig economy to the rest of the world. We have over 1.3 million young people gainfully working and ensuring that they are providing services to the rest of the world. Women participation is very critical. If I take Kenya as example, more than half of our population is women. And the young girls have also proven that they can do the engineering work. They provide even stability more than our young boys. And it is really important that we take the learnings that we can get from them, whether it is in innovation, whether it's in their temperament, even in managing situations, so that even as we go online, as we go digital, that they are able to come, participate, be involved, no one is left behind, and that collaboratively with the young boys and girls, we can train them and get them to innovate and build a better Africa, build better countries as we progress, at the same time taking care of our environment, because we are very blessed. We've got some of the best green spaces in the world, as well as some of the largest deserts. And together with that, we need to take care of our environment, and using technology, we can be able to ensure we are communicating, and that all the issues that tend to come between us, some cultural, some even religious, that we can be finding ways of resolving those issues and ensure that no one is left behind. Our girl child must also be engaged, and I look forward to that happening even more. To the member states, to the associate members, to all those involved with us in the ATU, mentorship of our young people is critical. And it is critical because where we are headed and where we are going is becoming more and more digital. COVID-19 ensured that everybody saw the importance of the connectivity and use of technology, and we can use that to do very many things. Technology can be used for good, can also be used for bad, and we need to find ways of ensuring that first, the environment in which our young people are coming on board, and especially our young women, is an environment in which they are safe, an environment in which they are not afraid of who's on which side, an environment in which they are trained on how they can manage their profiles, they can manage their engagement using technology, and therefore mentorship is very, very critical. And I'm calling upon all the member states, all the fellow ministers and others involved to really come forward and support this mentorship initiative to ensure that our young people, as they get into this new environment, into this new area, they have guiding voices. They have people that can show them which way to go, and even how to harness the skills that they have, whether it is in protecting the intellectual property, on the innovations that they are coming up with, whether it's how they will manage their communications, their engagement on online and freelancing jobs, whether it's how they will develop new products and services, how they will respect the different cultures and religions, just to ensure that we do not lose who we are because we're adopting technology more and more. So I'd call upon everyone to come together. Let us really push in mentorship and get our young girls out there also participating and involved in day-to-day activities. The WTC that is happening here on the continent for the first time is really a show that Africa is actually come of age, that we now have an opportunity to participate not just within the continent but globally, and we've been recognized, and that we must make sure that we participate and be part of this, present our proposals, present our policies and objectives, and ensure that as the development agenda is being discussed, we are not left behind, whether it's on how technology is being used for climate, technology being used for health, technology being used for education, and many other aspects. Entertainment, we have so much that we're doing, tourism within the continent. All these are key global areas that we must focus on, and I encourage all member states to participate, ministers to be part of this historic event, so that we can see many more other events be brought to the continent, and we can expand and grow and create the opportunities for our young people to be able to take advantage of. Innovation is very critical for us on the continent. Innovation, simply put, is solving problems. And I believe our young people are able to identify problems wherever they are, whether it's in the rural areas or urban centers, or even when they go online. They're able to identify great opportunities where they can engage and be involved. But innovation is not only the idea, it's also about the implementation. It's also about collaboration with others, finding others that have maybe built to a certain level and you innovate on top of that, or just being able to put all this together. And so it is important to have forums in which innovators are able to come together. Innovators are able to present their opportunities, what they've come up with, what they think can work, what they think can improve in different areas. And we've seen over the years, even at the ATU, we've held various innovation events. These have been able to bring out different innovations that can be funded, supported, that can transform the lives of very many people. So we want to support innovation in a special way. We want to ensure that innovators feel confident in being able to bring and showcase their ideas. We know that the ideas get protected, so there's intellectual property guidance, and ensuring that even those who would like to invest and come in and see new innovations that can be game changers, that can be unicorns, that will create great business as well as jobs for our young people. This is what innovations forums allow us to do. And I'm looking forward to the next or the third innovation forum that will allow for our young people to come and showcase their innovations as well as businesses and all the different partners that we can work with and see how we can progress the continent and build on that. Having been in private sector and seeing how businesses work, it was a privilege to get into government and operate as a minister, cabinet minister, and see how governments also operate. And then in the ATU, also seeing how regional organizations operate. I believe I have learned a huge amount. And I would like to thank His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is one of our leaders in the AU, for giving me this opportunity, giving me the opportunity even to join the Generation Unlimited, where we are looking at focusing on our young people, ensuring that they are either in employment, they are being trained, and are engaged within activities that are working for them. So I feel I have learned a lot, and I have plenty of experience, which I want to go out there and test. We have not finished our term yet, but soon we'll be doing that, even other than the ATU, as well as even as a minister. And me, I'm open to whatever the future brings. A lot of experience, but I look forward to working with the young people and seeing how we can actually progress and grow the African continent. The Africa Telecommunications Union has a great promise for the African continent, and I will be happy to support the teams, whether it is through policy guidance, whether it is through just providing ideas, and also working with the private sector so that the policies and frameworks that we're putting together find ways of interpreting that for the private sector so that we can roll out and really accelerate the process of development. It's an exciting time. It's an exciting time with blockchain. It's an exciting time with 5G and other networks that are being set up. And really, it's the time to take advantage and ensure we don't leave anyone behind. So happy to go out and support everybody in getting this done, and especially through the ATU.